Dan Bidondi reporting here for TruthRadioShow.com, and today is February 28th, 2019, and you all might have heard of this called the MOMO Challenge. This is going around all over social media. News agencies are reporting on this as well, wanting parents to watch what their children are doing online. Police warn against MOMO Challenge on social media game that urges teens to hurt themselves or commit suicide and killing themselves. So you have many articles talking about this. It's all over the news, warning about this online game. Now this is not really that new. It's about almost a year old now, but it's gaining a lot of steam in the social media world. This originated from Japan, and what you're looking at here is actually a figure created in Japan from this horror museum. Somebody made this, it's called Mother Bird. It's actually a bird. It's a kind of weird creature here, but it was created out of a horror shop. Well, anyway, somebody came and took this image, twisted it, and started this meme and started this little online social media thing where in the news reports you can see in YouTube videos that they use the WhatsApp app and different social media platforms that you can actually text and contact MOMO. And they believe it to be hackers or somebody, whoever, or which we're going to tell you the truth behind this right now, and everything else to do with this. It's all to do with the suicides, all to do with the mass push of abortions. This is pure child sacrifice. I'm going to get into that. And I know it's going to sound like alien to a lot of people out there, but you need to bear with me because all this is going to make sense. Even if it sounds like I'm all over the place, please be patient, pay attention, and this is going to sound alien, but it will be explained in clear view, plain and simple, what's going on, what this is about. Now, again, this is a Japanese image. Basically, somebody created this statue for a horror film or whatever it was. Anyway, the meme went around, and kids are contacting this thing on WhatsApp app and all these social media. Basically, Momo tells the kids, hey, I'm watching you, threatens them, like it's like a form of cyberbullying, and tells them they gotta do harm to themselves and commit suicide. So there's a lot to explain about it, but that's the basics of what's going on here. And now, yeah, granted, this is just, you know, art creation for a horror film, whatever it was, horror thing in Japan. But MOMO, okay, the whole point of it was to induce kids to commit suicide. And we're going to get to the spirituality with this. I mean, this is real crazy stuff, folks. And it gets deeper. The rabbit hole goes real deep with this stuff. Anyway, here you see here, USA Today reporting that more children are dying by suicide. Researchers are asking why. Now, anybody that knows the news and pays attention to what's going on, you'll see a mass rise of suicide. Children, teens, even the military, whatever, but mostly we'll talk about the children right now. There's a huge, huge epidemic in suicide between children and teens. It's on a huge incline. And as you see in reports here by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, they go over the stats, even from young kids to teenagers and everything else, about suicide and how they would commit suicide. It's all the stats right here. And apparently last year, which this says 47,000, it actually went up to a little bit more in 2018. They haven't updated the site yet, but it's up over 48,000 of suicides that are committed here in the United States alone. And you got to see the graphs, and like I said, it might sound like all over the place, but pay attention, please. And you're going to see here that the white population, I don't know why they do this for whatever, but the white population has the most suicide rates from 2000 to 2017. And black suicides are right behind them. But there's a massive push for children and teens being pushed to death, either by suicide or by abortion. And again, the white people lead the pack of committing suicide. Blacks are right behind them. But, however, on the flip side of things, and this goes right into abortion here, and CNN with Planned Parenthood, they're convincing black women, because anybody who knows anything about Planned Parenthood, we covered this. They were founded by Margaret Sanger, who was a huge occultist. She hated black people. This is all on record. She was a spokesman for the KKK at times. She went and spoke with them. Many quotes bashing black people. And it was all part of the eugenics movement with the Democratic Party to downsize the black population here in America. This is all on record. The same people who wanted to keep black people as slaves. The same people who formed the Ku Klux Klan, the heads of the Democratic Party. And I'm independent, so I'm not being biased, folks. I'm an independent constitutionalist. So anyway, childbirth is killing black women in the U.S., and here's why. Now, Planned Parenthood went on record, I forgot to put the tweet up, that the head of Planned Parenthood said that it's 4 times more likely for a black woman to die during pregnancy, during giving birth, than the white people. So they've been doing this for years, decades, putting the fear of God into black people so they get abortions. And now, if you look at the abortion stats, folks, you will see that more blacks abort kids than white people, because they're hoodwinked, they're misled to say, hey, you could possibly die from giving birth, and of course it's going to scare the heck out of the mothers. Planned Parenthood pushes this big time because they want to call off the population. Now, as you've seen in the stats earlier here, and on the other side, they got the black people with the abortions, and they got the white people with the suicide. But it's not about nothing to do with race at all, nothing at all. It's to do, plain and simple, okay, this is where it starts going down a rabbit hole, okay, it's to do with, it's a spiritual aspect that's going on here. I'm going to get into that in a second, and I want to cover more of this to show you exactly what's going on. Now, I just talked about childbirth. They're convincing women, which this is false, folks. Black folks, too, this is false. Do not pay attention to these lies by Planned Parenthood, by CNN, the fake news here, and do not pay attention to that. Black people are just as healthy as white people, plain and simple. They're just using this to scare people so you get an abortion. And you guys see exactly where I'm going with this, okay? And this is CBN News and many other news basically reporting how New York legalized up-to-date abortions. And it happened to be on the anniversary of Roe versus Wade. And all over New York, they got the towers lit up in red to symbolize this. They call this a victory to kill newborns. Virginia's taking suit, and the criminal, disgusting Governor Raimondo here in Rhode Island, she's trying to follow suit. Anyway, New York legislation passed this, 38 to 28. I mean, it's just disgusting. Another disgusting person is Governor Andrew Cuomo, too, to push this. Now, there's so much controversy, it's disgusting. Even when the babies are taken out to be aborted, they're still alive, and they leave them there to die and pull the body parts off while they're still alive. Very evil, maniacal stuff. And they call this women's rights, which is not a right at all. And the abortion, okay, #1 cause of death in 2018, reported by many sources, abortion. Now, if you go to Snopes.com, they try to downplay it. They can't deny it, but they do try to downplay this. But first of all, anybody that goes to Snopes for anything, I mean, you should be mentally examined, because Snopes is just a liberal bias organization, and they've been proven wrong on several occasions. I myself have proven them wrong on many things. But they, again, it's all about bias and propaganda. And right here, Breitbart and many other sources reporting the abortion, and this is the World Health Organization that's reporting this. Over 41 million kids dead. The leading cause of death worldwide is abortion. Back in 2018, #1 cause of death, reported by the World Health Organization for the whole year of 2018. It's just about 42 million abortions. That is horrible. I mean, I don't even know what the rate of that is, how many kids a day. I mean, I don't even want to imagine. It's got to be in the thousands of kids a day being aborted as we speak. I mean, it's before you get done with this video, you gotta probably thousands of kids have already been aborted and killed. And I'm gonna show you where this is going, why this is all related to MOMO, suicides, and everything else, because it's all part of this, folks. Whatever you believe, you're Christian, you're not, you're atheist, what have you, this is the truth, folks. It's child sacrifice at its core. It's a ritualistic killing of children in order to appease a god or supernatural beings, basically demonic sources. So that's exactly what child sacrifice, you should know what child sacrifice is, but this is the agenda behind it. Now, anybody that knows the Bible, Jesus warned us about this. And here's where the spirituality comes in, the spiritual warfare with the demonic presence of what's going on, why suicide, why abortions are through the roof, the killing of young innocent babies, the killing of teenagers and young kids, killing themselves, getting killed on a huge rise because of this, folks. Jesus warned us about this very thing here. And this is, I post this Christian magazine, and one's about the abortion in the end times prophecy. And Jesus, Luke chapter 17, says, as the days of Noah, because he was asked when he will return by the disciples. And Jesus says, as the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of Son of Man. Now, a lot of people, especially a lot of Christians, unfortunately, do not know what the days of Noah are like. They think it was just to do with sexual immorality, which was a big cause of it. But it was the mixing and destruction of the bloodline of Adam. They were corrupting the bloodline through the DNA and everything. And that's a whole other ball of wax altogether, as William Schnobel, my buddy, likes to say. But anyway, what's going on here is back in the days of Noah, okay, you had all these gods and goddesses. They were all false, of course. Child sacrifice in the occultic world, even to this day, very huge, okay? Now, everybody knows the story about the fall of mankind, the fall of the fallen angels. About 200 angels, you know, they were like chief angels under Lucifer, that Lucifer appointed them as chief angels, fell. And these angels, each individual one, taught mankind different things. And you have one angel in particular, Cassandra, who taught man the knowledge of aborting babies within the womb of the woman. Abortion. Okay, that's a fallen angel. That's a real fallen angel. It's in the book of Enoch as well. The book of Enoch is a very amazing book. And you know, you can find things like this throughout the Bible as well, the Canaanite scripture. But Cassandra is the fallen angel that taught mankind aborting babies in the womb. And because what it does is that when every time a baby is aborted, it provides these seething energies to these people. And it goes deep, real deep, and I'm going to get into that. And again, it doesn't matter what you believe. Okay, this has been going on for thousands of years. This is real stuff, folks. Okay, the world elite, that's why they're pushing this. Okay, abortions, they're pushing, inducing suicides and everything else, because they need to provide these seething energies for the coming Antichrist. And these demonic spirits on this planet need to be fed with the souls of the spilling of the blood of these young innocent children and babies. And this is this goes back to the Canaanites, old child sacrifice, and these are the spirits involved. So anybody that's into this praying, spiritual warfare, you need to pray against, number one, you need to pray against the spirit of Cassandra. Okay, number two, Moloch, which is similar to Baal. It's both were Canaanite gods that people sacrifice children onto. They basically offer up the newborns, and during these festivals, the people would actually have, after they conducted their sacrifices and all that, they would have a massive orgy, and it sounds disgusting, but everything in the occultic is to do with perverted sexualism and child sacrifice. So they would get impregnated during this course of time, and by the year rolls around again, the babies have already been born and about a couple months old, and they would use these children as sacrificial souls to these demonic fallen angel spirits. Baal, Moloch, which is a similar deity. This is the Canaanite gods, and they go back thousands of years. And also, one of the most ancient one of them all is a demon called Lilith, Now, there's many stories about Lilith. She's said to be Adam's first wife, and she didn't comply to God of Adam being the head of the family, which is a myth. She was not Adam's first wife. It's just, there's many myths about Lilith, but Lilith herself was not a myth. She is a spirit that is, is in charge, basically, of crib death. Okay, she taunts men in their sleep. There's been many studies on this that psychological universities and all that do not want to admit. But many men who suffer like forms of sleep paralysis, she's one of the sources, okay, that get tortured in their sleep and all kinds of stuff. She hates men and she can't stand children. And this is a real demonic spirit, folks. This is a real spirit that she's responsible for crib death, and she also is the leading inspiration of the women's movement, the women's liberation movement that the occultists, they don't want to talk about. Now, the people who run these organizations, I'm not talking about the people who belong to the women's organizations for women's rights. They're good people. The people who run these organizations, they know damn well it's nothing to do with women's rights. It's, they're run and controlled by these demonic sources, folks, to make women feel empowered enough that they destroy themselves and destroy mankind. They want to do away with men. If you notice the women's liberation movement everywhere, they're saying they're better than men. Not equal, but better. We don't need men. Abortions are through the roof, leading cause of death. So they're fulfilling the spirit role of Lilith, the spirit of Moloch and the spirit of Baal. It is so deep in depth, folks. I mean, I don't have much time for this to get into details. We'll get into details some other time, but I just wanted to lay out what was going on, because people everywhere asking, what in the hell is going on? Right? You have news sources all puzzled. Why suicides through the roof? You know what I mean? Like, they're all questioning. Right here, researchers are asking why. Why is children, which is sacrifice, why is suicide through the roof? With young children, teenagers now, higher than ever, abortion, the #1 cause of death worldwide. Why is this going on? And I just showed you why. And again, you can believe what you want, and this is also part of the eugenics movement back in the early 1900s, which morphed into what's called Agenda 21, Agenda 2030 by the United Nations. It's eugenics on steroids. It's got much other stuff involved with this, taking private property, the whole 9 yards. It's basically fulfilling the Illuminati's goals. It's part of the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx. Very satanic to the core, very Luciferian to the core, folks. This is all what's all about, what's going on here, because a lot of people are scratching their heads and asking why, okay, what the heck is going on? What's going on? With all these suicides and all these abortions, why is this becoming legal now? And 50 years ago, abortions would never be legal like this. People would take to the streets with pitchforks. Well, you got states like New York and Virginia just say, hey, we're legalizing abortion now up to birth, and they're calling for post-birth abortion as well, folks. I reported this 10 years ago, because I read their white papers. They openly said they're going to call for post-birth abortion. They're going to push it up to 5 years old. If you don't want your child, they bring it back to the hospital or to a center where they execute the child and call it and classify it as abortion. They're calling for this, and they know they can't jam it through right away, so they took increment steps along the way. And the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, now up to birth, and most of the babies, of course, they come out alive and they let it die. It's a grotesque. I was going to show images and videos of it, but it's too grotesque to show. And but they can push up to birth abortion. All this is part of this child sacrifice. That's all that it's about. To feed these demonic creatures, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming of Jesus. Because before Jesus comes, the Antichrist comes. To bring the Antichrist on the planet, these demonic spirits need to be empowered. Satan himself needs to be empowered by this, the blood of the innocent. And speaking of blood of the innocent, anybody that's studied Aleister Crowley, this goes back to the Hermetic Golden Order of the Hermes Hermetic Golden Dawn. Many other cult rituals that Aleister Crowley was part of, Anton LaVey, all these top people at the top through the Satanism, Luciferianism cults, okay, they openly bragged about having sex with children, which is Aleister Crowley. He's the one who bragged about and openly stated that he had sex with children and killed them because they believe the spilling of the blood, once you have and this is also why too, folks, I forgot to mention this too, that missing children are going through the roof. More missing children now, more than ever. Why? And also, I forgot to throw in as well, the sexual pedophile rings are phenomenally huge. It's one of the biggest things on the dark web, sexual, pornography with children. Very disgusting. There's child porn everywhere. You even have legislators and doctors coming out to say that pedophilia should be legal because they were born that way. They're trying to legalize pedophilia. All this is involved with this, folks, because in the occult world, okay, the people who run this planet, the dark evil people, they believe once you have sex with a kid, it robs its innocence, which feeds these demonic souls. And in the meantime, when you sacrifice the kid, it feeds these demonic souls as well. And when you ingest the blood and spill the blood of these children, they believe that the blood gives them life to live forever, life force, because in the Bible says the life is in the blood. So you got to remember, everything in the occult is an exact, direct, mirror, perverted image of what the Bible teaches. So this is why they do these things: pedophilia, abortion, suicide, and all these satanic things that are going around. And this is more than this, the MOMO thing. And I'm not saying this MOMO thing is real. No, the spirits behind it are real. They are actually possessing kids. Not this, no. The spirits behind it, because there's incantations used and everything else that would demonically possess some of these kids to do this stuff. And that's why a report, a lot of kids said that the MOMO is inside them. They think it's MOMO. They think it's this. No, but it's actually one of these demonic spirits of Baal and Moloch. So this is what this is about, folks. Sexual pedophilia. This was huge back then, too. For thousands of years, it's even bigger now than more than ever. Because Jesus said, hey, he warned us about this. As the days of Noah, so shall it be in the latter days. And before I go, I want people to check out some of these channels and pages that answer this and a lot more. Now You See TV, go to YouTube. Now You See TV, The Midnight Ride, hosted by John Pounders, David Caricchio, and Grant. I've been butchering people's names here. It's just like so much information, and but folks, you need to check the stuff out here. And also withooneaccord.org, that's the website, withoneaccord.org, by a former Illuminati. He used to be in high levels of the occult and everything else. His name is William Schnoblin. So check him out as well. And he's got much material, free videos and everything, and prayers about all of this stuff and more. And also my channel, of course, Truth Radio Show, where you're watching this now, most of you. And my channel, on my Twitter, at Dan Bidondi on Twitter. And of course, TruthRadioShow.com is all my listens. And again, we need to pray against the spirits of Baal, Moloch, Lilith, and Cassandra, the fallen angel that taught men abortions. Because, like Jesus says, as the days of Noah, so shall it be in these latter days. He warned us that these days would come. And that's why you see pedophilia is through the roof. It's more popular in the dark web than ever. It's through the roof. Child sacrifice, missing children, abortions are through the roof, like the number one cause of death, the number one cause of death worldwide, and teen and child suicide. All this is all related, folks. It's all part of this giant Luciferian agenda for them to push a new world order and bring in the Antichrist. But you know what? Savior is coming right after that to put an end to all this stuff. But we need to constantly pray against these spirits, folks. And this is Dan Bidondi for TruthRadioShow.com. Love you all. God bless. And shalom, shalom. Declaring war on the New World Order. TruthRadioShow.com.